U.Data Index is a tool for searching files and data across multiple file storage locations within UDOT, for example, ProjectWise, UPlan, and Socrata. The index search is available at index.udot.utah.gov. You can choose to perform a keyword search of all indexed data, search by file type, search by file source, or to conduct a geographic search based on an area of interest. Or you may also browse the index based on file structure if you choose. It is important to note that all files are indexed in place, which means that you may be able to see that a file exists, but unless you have access to the location where it is saved, you will not be able to open it. You can request access by emailing udotdata@utah.gov. The default search is conducted on the text string that you provide. Within the search screen, you can further refine the search based on any combination of keywords, PIN, project number, project name, year, route, title, document or file type, and data source. Use the general entry search to search for specific text in any part of the indexed file's metadata. The Boolean search is the default and allows you to use the and or operators within the search string. It also supports stemming, which means it will include results that have additional text after what you provide. For example, engine returns hits for engines, engineer, etc. Exact is a Boolean search without stemming. Concept considers words that are close in meaning based on a dictionary that can be modified by the administrator. And pattern looks for words that are spelled similarly. Instead of a general text search, you can also choose to search on a specific criterion from the initial screen, like file type or search by file source. You can still refine the search with keywords or other criteria. Make sure to apply the change by clicking the Update Search Criteria button. You can also remove the search criteria that you've used as needed, or remove all criteria by clicking the red X. As you are refining your search, you can also apply facets below the criteria list. Each facet will include the number of files that match that criterion. The results of your search will be presented in a table that includes different attributes. Some of the columns will be blank if they do not apply. You can choose to remove or add columns to the table of results. You can also view the results in a different layout, including tiles that will show images if applicable. Clicking on the title will open the metadata viewer and allow you to cycle through the metadata of the search results. The text you searched on will be highlighted. If you wish to review the metadata for just a specific file, you can click on the link to the right. Clicking the file link will attempt to take you to the file. Note that you must have access to the location in order to actually open or retrieve it. Permissions are enforced at this level, so you must have access to the location in order to access the file. For example, if you don't have access to the Region 2 share drive, you will not be able to retrieve files from that location. Some file types have a geographic location associated with them. If so, you will have the option to zoom to that location on a map. If you would prefer to browse the available data by data source, you may do so. This function allows you to drill down into specific folders or subcategories as desired. Notice that there can be multiple pages to view once the list gets too long. Some data that has been indexed is associated with a location. A lot of this will be data in UPlan that is already being presented in a map. However, there are also other data types that have been assigned a location based on the project limits or some other reference to a location. This means that the location may not be exactly where you would expect, so you may need to search a broader area. You can access the map-based search tool either by choosing a GeoSearch from the home screen or by clicking on the globe. Using the GeoSearch provides you with the same capability to filter the data based on values, either general text or under certain criteria, or to apply facets to the search to narrow it down. You can also filter the data by relationship to a shape you draw. You can draw a rectangle, a polygon, a circle, or a point. The default search will look for records that fall within the shape that you draw. You can change that search relationship if you would like. You may choose either to select records that intersect the shape, which will result in a higher number of results, or select records whose boundary contains the shape that you drew, meaning your shape falls within the area identified as that associated with the record. Other general functionality of the GeoSearch includes changing aspects of the map, like the base map or the units or the map projection, turning layers on or off in the map, measuring a distance or an area in the unit selected. To clear the area of interest that you drew, you can either click Clear or remove it from the filter list. You can also generate a geographic area of interest by specifying location information, such as a street address, route and milepost limits, or a rectangle or circle generated with lat-long coordinates. Most of these allow you to specify a buffer size as well as the option to zoom to the location and highlight it. You can perform a search for project pins whose geographic limits intersect your area of interest. Draw your shape and review the list of pins. You can select specific pins to apply as filters, or you can export the list of pins to a comma-delimited file. Or you can print the list. Note that the search will be limited to 50 results, so keep the area you draw as small as possible. UDOT staff can log into the index with their network credentials. Doing this provides support for more advanced functionality. For example, you can save a search so you can rerun it without having to input all of the criteria again. You can also edit the name of searches you've saved or make them available to all others who are signed in. If you subscribe to a search, you will receive an email when a newly indexed file falls within your search parameters. You can unsubscribe from the My Subscriptions section. Or you may view and run searches that other users have made public. You may also create an album of specific files once you have run a search. Once you've selected a file, you can add it to an album by clicking the plus sign. You can add it to an existing album or create a new one. You can share albums with others by email or by making it available to other logged-in users. Cleaning an album updates any documents in the album that were changed by someone else. Lastly, you also have the option to email the basic metadata of a file to someone. Thank you for watching this video. Please contact UDOT Data at utah.gov to request a user account or to modify your account's rights to use these functions.